Are you over 50 and feel like your gray hair is making you look older? The truth is simple. It's not the gray hair. It's how you're using it. Your gray hair can give you presence, elegance, and character, or it can silently destroy your style without you realizing it. Today, you're going to discover the mistakes that truly age you and how to turn your gray hair into your greatest advantage. Stay with me, because mistake number 1 is the worst of all, and almost every man makes it. Mistake number 3, fighting your gray hair instead of using it to your advantage. This is the most common mistake, and also the most costly in the terms of image. Many men, the moment they see the first gray strands, panic. They feel like they're losing something: youth, attractiveness, vitality, and in that desperate attempt to stop time, they rush to dye their hair completely black. But that is exactly the move that ages you the most. Intense black almost never looks natural on a man over 50. It hardens the facial features, creates an artificial contrast, and instead of rejuvenating you, it places you in that visual category of "I'm trying too hard." And at this age, that is the worst message you can communicate. The hardest part is that everyone notices it. Instead of projecting confidence, it projects insecurity. Instead of showing maturity, it shows fear. And when a man communicates fear through his image, his entire body language changes. That's why the key is accepting your gray hair and using contrast to your advantage. Gray hair, when embraced intentionally, becomes one of the strongest symbols of masculine style. Gray hair doesn't take presence away from you. It gives it to you. It doesn't make you less attractive. It transforms your attractiveness into something deeper, more stable, more interesting. And few men represent this better than Richard Gere. He didn't just allow gray hair to become part of his image. He built a solid visual identity around it. His silver hair is not an aesthetic detail. It is a declaration of confidence. Every appearance, even today, communicates the same message. A man who doesn't need to hide anything. A man who understands that maturity is not a disadvantage, but a competitive advantage. Richard Gere doesn't look younger by hiding his gray hair. He looks younger by embracing it. That is the impact of accepting your gray hair. When a man enters this stage with natural confidence, everything changes. His expression, his posture, even the way people respond to him. People perceive something different: firmness, internal security, coherence. And that visual coherence is worth far more than any dark dye. If you're not ready to go fully gray yet, that's fine. You can soften the color, blend the tone, or keep part of your natural shade for a gradual transition. The key is not covering everything completely, because that creates a rigid and unnatural effect. Gray hair becomes power when you use it with intention, when you don't hide it but guide it, when you stop seeing it as a flaw and start seeing it as a message. A reminder that you've reached a stage where you don't need to prove anything. You simply need to be. Mistake number 2, continuing to wear the same colors you wore when you were 20. This is a silent but devastating mistake for any gray-haired man. Many think that what ages them the most is the gray hair. But the truth is different. What truly adds years to your appearance is continuing to wear the same colors you wore when you were younger. When your hair starts to lighten, the visual contrast between your skin and your hair changes completely. Your face is no longer framed by a dark, warm color. And if you continue dressing the same way, your clothing begins to wash out your features without you noticing. You look paler, more tired, and less defined, even if you're in your best stage of life. Overly youthful or saturated colors, like electric blue, lime green, bright orange, or neon tones, start working against you. They used to add energy. Now they take it away. The same happens with beige or heavy khaki. On gray-haired men, those tones blend into the skin and hair, erasing structure and making your expression look flatter and less alive. But here's the important part. Choosing the right colors turns gray hair into a strength. Gray hair needs tones that frame it, balance it, and highlight it. A perfect example of this, mentioned only once as requested, is George Clooney. He understood that gray hair doesn't need to be hidden. It needs a visual context that enhances it. That's why he wears sober, deep, cool colors that give him a magnetic presence. Not because the colors themselves are elegant, but because they work best with the tone of gray hair. That's the effect created by navy blue, charcoal gray, olive green, burgundy, wine red, or matte black. These colors strengthen the face, define the features, and project an attractive maturity. When a gray-haired man wears navy blue, his face looks brighter. When he wears charcoal gray, his features look firmer. When he wears burgundy or wine tones, his image gains depth effortlessly. And the most powerful part, you don't need to change your personal style at all, just your palette. If you prefer lighter tones, you can still use them to your advantage. Warm whites, cream, pearl gray, or soft sky blue brighten the face without competing with the hair. Avoid intense yellows, oranges, or overly warm tones because they can make gray hair look yellowish or dull. Clean, cool tones are your allies because they create harmony between your skin, your clothing, and your hair. This is not an age problem, it is a perception problem. But when you choose the right palette, your entire face changes. Your expression looks stronger, your features regain definition, your gray hair shines with intention. People notice something different, even if they can't explain it. They see coherence, presence, and a confidence that only appears when a man accepts his new stage and adapts visually to it. Maturity doesn't take style away from you. It forces you to refine it. And when you choose the right colors, your gray hair stops being a sign of age and becomes a symbol of identity and character. That is the true power of dressing well after 50. Mistake number 1. Neglecting your style because you think gray hair overshadows everything. This is one of the most dangerous mistakes, not because it's obvious at first, but because it creeps in slowly. Many men, when they start seeing gray hair, develop a wrong idea. I'm older now, it doesn't matter how I dress. And that thought, more than the gray hair itself, is what truly ages them. When a man convinces himself that his image no longer matters, his style becomes automatic, basic, almost mechanical. He starts wearing the same clothes as always, without checking their condition, without thinking about combinations, without adjusting fit, without considering textures or colors. And what happens is simple. Gray hair only looks elegant when it's supported by a well-maintained style. If the rest of the look is neglected, gray hair stops being a symbol of maturity and becomes a symbol of abandonment. Gray hair demands visual coherence. Gray hair, no matter how attractive it is, cannot compete with a worn-out shirt, shapeless pants, or damaged shoes. You don't need to reinvent yourself, change your personality, or adopt a style that doesn't represent you. You simply need to elevate what you already are. And that starts with small details. A clean haircut, a trimmed beard, if you wear one, clothing that drapes better, structured fabrics, colors that support your new contrast, and pieces in good condition. A great example of this is Pierce Brosnan. He didn't change his style when the gray appeared. He didn't try to disguise it with a youthful look. He did the opposite. He took his classic style and refined it, more polished, more intentional. He keeps his beard perfectly groomed, uses high-quality fabrics, sober colors, and simple but elegant combinations. His presence does not depend on hair color. It depends on the coherence between his gray hair, his clothing, and his posture. That coherence is what projects authority, confidence, and an attractiveness that doesn't need to be exaggerated. The big mistake many men make is believing gray hair ruins everything. The truth is that neglect ruins everything. Gray hair alone does not determine how you look. What defines your image is how you support it. If your hair is gray but your clothes are messy, the message gets lost. If your hair is silver but your clothes have a poor fit, the image weakens. If your gray hair is well accepted but your style has no intention, the visual impact fades. This mistake is more emotional than aesthetic. It's the mistake of giving up, of believing it no longer matters, of thinking that aging means abandoning style. But the reality is different. The gray-haired men who look the best are not the youngest. They are the most coherent. They understand that maturity doesn't take attractiveness away. It gives it a new form, a deeper, more interesting, more solid one. When you take care of your grooming, when you choose your colors wisely, when you update the small details of your style, not only does the way others see you change, how you feel about yourself changes. Your posture improves, your voice changes, your social energy rises. And that confidence, that internal sense of presence, is the true secret to looking good with gray hair. Now that we've covered the mistakes, let's move into the principles that truly transform a gray-haired man's image. The first is mastering contrast with intention. A well-chosen contrast can make you look more confident, more elegant, and more defined. If your hair is fully silver or white, dark tones like navy blue or charcoal gray will help you stand out. If you're in transition, with a mix of gray and natural color, medium tones like olive green, burgundy, or smoke gray create natural balance. If you still have more dark hair than gray, you can use lighter shirts or brighter accessories to anticipate the transition. The goal is simple. Your gray hair should look intentional, not accidental. The right contrast makes your face the focal point. Principle number 2. Metallic tones are your allies. If you wear watches, buckles, rings, or chains, prioritize silver or gray finishes. Gray hair naturally pairs well with cool tones like steel, silver, or brushed metals. These tones enhance the natural brightness of the hair without exaggeration. Gold accessories may work only if your skin is warm or very tanned. If you wear glasses, the frame matters too. A frame in steel, dark gray, or matte black gives definition without breaking the harmony. Bright or colorful frames distract from the face and create visual noise. Principle number 3. Use textures that add life. Gray hair can make facial features look sharper or colder if your entire outfit is flat. Textures help balance that visual coldness. A wool jacket, a linen shirt, a fine knit sweater, or a textured blazer add depth, warmth, and dimension. Avoid shiny or overly synthetic fabrics, as they create artificial contrast with gray hair. Natural textures soften the overall look, make you appear more approachable, and project a mature, confident style. Principle number 4. Security and coherence. Nothing works if you don't feel comfortable with yourself. Accepting gray hair is not resignation. It's embracing a new version of yourself. It's showing experience, balance, and confidence. Dressing well with gray hair is not about looking young. It's about showing the best of your maturity. If something feels wrong, a garment, a color, a cut, change it. Not for others, for you. Because when a man feels good, everything about him, from his posture to his tone of voice, communicates confidence. If you made it this far, leave me a comment and tell me which principle you'll apply first. Because being a man is an art at any age.